Welcome to my channel Shadows of History. Were Middle Ages really so dark and backwards compared to e.g. Roman Empire? No. The Roman Empire was a rapine economy based on plunder, robbery, imperialism, and slavery. It was bound to collapse once the expansion would end, and it was about to collapse for good already in the mid-3rd century. Only the Diocletian reforms saved the empire and bought it some 1,300 years more time. It must be remembered that the Eastern Roman Empire, Byzantine Empire, was just as Roman as the Imperial Roman Empire, and it lasted well until Renaissance. There was an unbroken cultural continuum from ex urbe condita to alio e polis. Once the Dark Ages, 476 to 800, in the Western Europe were over and Carolingian Renaissance happened, the West quickly rose back and par economically and culturally to the Eastern Roman Empire. Note that the expression Dark Ages has a set and constant meaning. It is the era 476 AD to 800 AD from the collapse of the Western Empire to the Carolingian Renaissance. It does not cover the whole Middle Ages, and there never were any Dark Ages in the Eastern Roman Empire, which continued its existence as ever. Too bad Western Europeans usually don't know a zilch about the Eastern Roman Empire, the Byzantine Empire, and the Americans most likely have never even heard about it. For an ordinary Joe average, the Middle Ages were vastly more better than the Roman era. If you were a Joe average in the Roman era, you were either a slave or a proletarian and you were dirt poor. You lived in a hut like this. If you were a Joe average in the Dark Ages, 476 to 800, you were either a serf or a smallholder and you had some property. You lived in a shack like this. If you were a city dweller in the Roman Empire, you lived in housing like this. Roman insula of the 3rd century in Ostia Antica, Italy. Insulae were known to be prone to collapse. If you were a city dweller in the Middle Ages, you lived in housing like this. Medieval half-timbered houses in Rothenburg ob der Tauber, Middle Franconia, Germany. Much more lighter, airier, and comfortable than the insulae. Chances are your descendants still live in the original houses like that. The main difference of the medieval and Roman Western Europe were that capitalism was on its way on evolving, slavery was abolished, the society was very close to libertarian ideal, and the society was more like a network than an organism. The rich were not filthy rich as in the Roman era, but neither were the poor just as dirt poor as in the Roman era.